Hello and welcome to Devlin's Pirate Radio Show. I'm Devlin Bishop, and this is no regular episode. This is the Thanksgiving episode. Yes, it is Thanksgiving, and I decided I wanted to do a special episode in honor of it, because I'm a big sucker for all the holidays, and for the bigger ones, I'd like to do specialty episodes for it, and, well, Thanksgiving is, it's kind of falls in between not my favorite holiday, but not my least favorite holiday, so it's a nice one. It involves food and family and friends, a lot of F's that I really enjoy. If I'm lucky, there'll be other F's happening. Yeah, leave it to me to turn my Thanksgiving show into a little bit of X-rated entertainment for you, but what more could you want from me? But besides that, it's going to be an actual fairly light, fluffy, family-friendly, some more F's coming your way, and so we hope you enjoy it. Now, for those of you who are listening from America, or maybe anywhere else in the world, this is Canadian Thanksgiving, so that's why it's being done in October, and most of my fans, I think, are fans and listeners. Listen to me, fans, my listeners, I want to call them. Yes, I'd like to think they're fans, but I don't want to look like I have too much of an ego. Okay, my fans. Anyhow, most of them are from Canada anyhow, so they will understand this. But for those of you not, you can still enjoy it because, it's going to be a lot of fun. The turkey is in the oven as we speak. That's the made up turkey, because I like the image of me actually getting ready to cook, and the aroma of turkey and all the dressings coming up, and the freshly pumpkin pie I made earlier today. I like to set a visual tone. No, probably not. I'm not probably having that today, but we'll pretend. And later on in this segment, I'm going to have Mike and Heather here, Corda, we like to call her as well. They will be here, and we're going to pretend like we're going to be eating Thanksgiving dinner for you, and just to get the feel. So if anybody's alone at Thanksgiving, you'll have us three, and, that's, the best we can do. We're not always the best company, but we're usually a load of laughs, and not too much pressure for them. And we're going to have a 20-minute segment where we're going to just eat turkey and talk about some holiday stories and things we like about the holidays and stuff. Also in this, I've got another segment that I'm really looking forward to share with you. I taped it this summer. It is with my nephew, Jonathan Feret. And for those who know me, know that Jonathan means so much to me in my life. He is kind of an adopted nephew, but, he's got a great mom and dad, but, if I had the chance to adopt him, I would adopt him in a heartbeat, because he's almost like the son I will never have. And he dropped by, and I asked him, hey, would you like to do a 20-minute segment? And he thought it would be great, so I'm really looking forward to sharing him with you, and because he's a great young man, and I'm so happy to have him in my life. So lots going on today, but the first segment is all mine, because I'm a selfish bastard sometimes, and I like to talk on my own. And I just wanted to start this with talking about my favorite season of them all, autumn. And it really is. Even when I was a kid, I liked autumn. Now, don't get me wrong, I like all the other seasons. Summer, awesome. Spring, wonderful. Winter, I'm even a fan of winter. I like winter. To a degree. Winter is probably one of the only seasons that gets on my nerves early, but I love the first couple months of it, But today I'm talking about autumn, because autumn to me is the start of the new year. I mentioned in my back to school segment that, I don't know, maybe it's just because I started school all the time, that was always, it was always renewal for me. It wasn't New Year's. It was like, though I haven't been in school in ages, I still, for some reason, there seems to be a bigger change in that. And so autumn to me is like a fresh start. It's like, okay, let's begin another year. And after the year I've had, I'm ready to begin the year at any point of this year. But autumn also, just the visual splendor of it, it's incredible to see nature. And I know spring has like the blooming and all the buds coming out and you see everything grow again. But there's something about autumn where everything changes color. And there's just the chill in the air comes through. And I just absolutely adore it. I love going for walks in autumn. Because summer can be a little too hot for me, I'll be honest. And like at night when I sleep and it's really hot in the summer, I find it really hard to fall asleep. But in the winter, the last couple of nights have been absolutely magical. We leave the window open a bit. We both like the fan on us, so it's really chilly. And I love sleeping with that chill around me, even though I'm in a nice comfy thing. And that's what autumn means to me. And this past week, we have just had some really nice autumn weather that I've been sleeping so great. Of course, the downfall in that is you have to get up, and it's a lot harder to get up when it's cold. And you know that once you lift those covers up, you're going to go. But you know what? It's still worth it. Autumn has always been kind of a beautiful season for me. Not only because of the nature, but it holds some of my favorite holidays. Thanksgiving, as I said, is not my favorite. I still think my favorite overall is Christmas, with Halloween a close second. And we all know my least favorite is New Year's Eve, and I'm not particularly fond of Groundhog Day or anything. So Thanksgiving is a pretty popular one for me. But not up there. Two reasons I don't think it's up there is I think the thing we think of most for Thanksgiving is food and getting together with family and thinking of the things we're thankful for. For me, food has never been a big thing for Thanksgiving. Sure, I love turkey, don't get me wrong. But Mike and I, when we're together, if we can't get to our family's house, or if we're not going to a friend's house, and maybe we just, our work's crazy and we just don't have time to go, when we have we do a little bit for Thanksgiving dinner, but in the past we've done everything from tacos. I think we've done, I think we've ordered pizza on Thanksgiving before. And the last couple of years, we've actually got one of those quarter chickens that you can get at like Fortino's or something. And, we actually made stuffing and, mashed potatoes and some vegetables. And it's actually been quite nice. I actually like when we do that. But when I tell some of my family, they're like, oh, that's not Thanksgiving dinner. You need to have pumpkin pie. You need to have, turkey and cranberries. Well, for us, it doesn't matter. For us, it's just being together. We're happy to be together, and it doesn't matter what kind of meal you have. Yes, it's great when you get the turkey and everything, and you eat to the point where you don't want to see turkey again for a while. But for us, it doesn't matter. We made a deal that, we just eat what we want to eat, and if we feel like ordering a pizza on Thanksgiving, then we do that. So to us, the meal it's just, one of those blessings we have, that we are lucky to be, that we have food, because there's so many without it, all through the year. So anyhow, so food's never been a big deal. And as for, taking the time to be thankful for what you have, I believe I do that all the time. I'm always reminded how blessed I am. I am lucky to have such a great group of friends and family that the people who love me, I try to not let go too long without sending them a little note, telling them how much they mean to me. I will leave this world knowing that I have told everybody that I care about how much I love them. And I am thankful for them all the time. Even this year, when I was at my lowest points, I could always count my blessings. Unfortunately, when you go through dark times, the blessings still mean a lot to you, but you don't mean a lot to yourself. This Thanksgiving, I'm kind of moving up forward. I'm taking baby steps up again. I know I've been up again before, and I told you, but I told you I wouldn't lie to you either. And so I'm going to be really thankful for myself, too. I'm going to consider me as one of those blessings, because I think that's one thing that I always downplay, is me. As for friends and family, I am blessed to have them, and I'm thankful for them, and I remind them. I don't need one day to tell people what they mean to me, because I like to do it often. And so to me, that's why Thanksgiving isn't up there. Of course, I love Halloween. I won't go into it too much because this is a Thanksgiving episode, but that is also in the autumn. Halloween, I like the build up to Halloween. I like fall days where I can open up the window, grab a blanket on the couch, and put on a scary movie. I like all kinds of scary movies. I prefer the classics, but I don't mind one of those gory slasher films either. I just absolutely love that. I won't go too much into Halloween because you're going to get a couple of Halloween segments from me, and I might even do something with Count Devlin, my alter ego, as a fun Halloween thing too, kind of almost. Well, I won't tell you too much because if it falls through, then I won't. But look for something. There might be a special extra episode around Halloween. Anyhow, and autumn to me is like the start of the year. But I remember when I grew up, they'd always talk about the seasons of your life. And, you know, for those of you who are not familiar with that, they'd always talk like spring was the opening of the person, and that's when you're young. And then summer is when you're more of a teenager and you're passing the teenager phase, because spring is still part of the, horny teenager, getting it on with everybody you can. I miss those years altogether, but again, I'm turning Thanksgiving into something raunchy. So people are probably, trying to eat and stuff. And here I am talking about, going at it. And then summer is supposed to be like when you're building your life, it's getting stronger. And the autumn of your life is when you're, hitting middle-aged, just past middle-aged, and you're starting to realize that, you've made this full life for yourself, or you've made the life that you have. And then winter, of course, is when our golden age, when, we have to deal with, aging and stuff like that. So anyhow, I'm technically in the autumn of my life, and I've come to terms with that. Or at least I'm trying to come to terms with that, It's never easy to say, oh, the summer's over. It's never easy to do that in real life. But now I'm looking at my life saying, oh, I've passed my summer years. I am now into the autumn years. What I hope to do is to embrace it, but it is taking some time. As we all know, and I'm not going to go on about it, this year has been rough on me, but the truth of the matter is this year I actually planned to take me to that next level. I wanted to figure out how I can take all this stuff that I've built in me and take it to the next level. I just got kicked to the chops a couple times, and I've lost that. But I hope to find it again, but I have a feeling when I do find that, I think I'm going to look back at this year and say I needed to go through this in order to get there. I know I'm going to look back at this tape and be profound, this episode, and be profound. But right now, I just feel a little muddy by it and stuff like that. Another thing that also gets a lot of promotion in the autumn is pumpkin and pumpkin spice. It's become so popular. Everybody has it. They have drinks, they have coffees, they have just about anything. You go and see pumpkin pies and stuff. I actually am a big fan of pumpkin, but not to the point of some people. Some people get really obsessed with it. I get excited to, take my first bite of that pumpkin pie in autumn. And then after I've had a pie or two, or tasted a couple pumpkin things, I'm just like, yeah, I'm over it. I'm over it. Let's move on. So I'm not the biggest pumpkin pie fan. So last year I think I ran out and bought a pumpkin pie really early in the season, and I was sick of pumpkin by the time, Thanksgiving, Halloween came. So I've kind of avoided it. So I think I'm going to do treat myself and get one and enjoy that. Because the first one's always great, and then the second one's good, and then by the third one I'm pumpkined out a bit. For those of you who love it, by all means, love it. Anyhow, so I think this is going to be a pretty good episode. We're going to, have a lot of fun. It is kind of a Frankenstein episode, because we are piecing things together. As I said, I've got my nephew segment coming up next. And then I'm going to wrap up with our fake turkey dinner, where Mike and Corda are going to join me here in the studio. And we're going to just talk about holidays and, what we love about them. Maybe tell funny holiday stories if we have them. I'll have to think. I don't know if I have a lot of Thanksgiving funny stories. Most of my funny stories land in Christmas. But we will enjoy it, and if you're listening to us during the Thanksgiving weekend, as you know, you can listen to us anytime. But if you are, well, thank you for making us part of your life. Thank you. I'm honored that you would let me, spend time with you on this Thanksgiving weekend. I'm honored when you let me into your home anytime. And that's kind of a creepy image, letting me into your home and stuff. Hello. I'm just here waiting for you. But anyhow, that's the end of my first segment. I think I've proven I loved autumn, and I'm going to go enjoy it. Maybe while my fake food is cooking in the oven, I will go for a quick walk around the block and enjoy watching the falling leaves and the crunch under my feet. And of course, I'll have my Walkman on, so I will hear some great fall music as well. I don't know, some Autumn Leaves maybe by many people have done that song. And fall doesn't have enough songs. We need more fall songs, We got a lot of Halloween. There's a couple Thanksgiving songs, I think. But we need more descriptive autumn songs. We certainly do. Anyhow, I'm going to let you go, and we will be back with my nephew Jonathan right after this. Hello, Devlin here with you, and you're listening to Devlin's Pirate Radio Show. And I'm here with another segment, and I'm really looking forward to this one because, we had talked about doing this for a while, and I do have a guest next to me. And I can tell he's a little nervous, but he shouldn't be. If you don't count Mike, this is my first real relative. Mike I consider my family, but most of my friends I consider family too. But this is actually one of my relatives. And he is an amazing person. I am so glad to get to know him over the last couple of years. That just sounds weird when you think of relatives. Oh, I've only known them for a couple of years. No, I've known him since he was a little child. But I'm very proud of the young man he's become. And I'm not going to flatter him too much because I don't want him to blow up while he's blushing. So I'm going to just introduce him. This is my nephew, Jonathan Feret.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello, Jonathan. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
So we don't know exactly what we're going to talk about. I want to have him here, and we're just going to talk a little bit. Now, what I meant when Jonathan is a technical nephew. I'm sort of related to him, but not really. We will, you don't mind if we explain that. Basically, he is the cousin to my nephews and nieces. And basically, whenever I'd go to a family function, Jonathan's family would be there, and I saw him and his brothers grow up. Then Jonathan went through some personal issues, and I sent out an email one day and gave him some reassurance. Would you call it that?
Oh, yeah.
Was it helpful?
It was.
Okay. It was. And he sent me a beautiful response, because I think you were shocked when I sent the email, did you?
Yeah, I didn't expect it when you sent me it. It was really nice to see that, someone cares and would take the time to sort of message me and try to reassure me through what was happening. I actually don't mind saying my grandmother just recently passed, and I was having a hard time dealing with it because I was very close to her. So he just sent me a nice little email, and basically ever since that email, our relationship has just been getting stronger and stronger, and we've started to talk to each other a lot more. And the past couple of years now, I've been coming up every summer for at least 2-3 days whenever I can, and we have the best time together. And as you heard before on one of his monologue things here,
Yep. Call him that. Yep.
We have gone to the drive-through every single time.
Drive-in,
sorry.
Drive-through. They know I'm fat, but Jonathan is not, so obviously I'd be eating at the drive-through, and he's just driving me. No, the drive-in, yeah.
Yeah, we go to the drive-in every time, and it's just kind of ironic how every time I've come up, too, I've had a new vehicle with me. So it's kind of fun every time I've come up for the last 3 years. He's seen me in a different car, and we've gone to the drive-in in a different car, and you know, it's really nice. Our relationship has gotten to a really high point, I think.
And we'll get to that. Let's break down some of that. When I sent you the response, I didn't know how you would react, because I didn't know if I was like stepping out of my line, because I like knew you, but you know, I'm still like some crazy guy that we've only met at family functions. And then you sent me a lovely letter that says that when we were at family functions, you always saw me as an uncle, and you actually asked if you could call me Uncle Donald at that point. And then, more things transpired, and emails turned into phone calls, and like you called me, I'd call you. And yeah, it grew into something very special, and now that he's older, he's able to come down in multi-vehicles every year. And I love when you take me to the drive-in. Like, because what happened was, I was, like, he puts up with all my ranting, but not ranting, but me going on about the old days. He really makes me feel old some days. And I'd always talk about the drive-in. And then he found out that I actually haven't been to the drive-in in, I think at the time it was like 12 years. But what was worse was you found out that I actually live 10 minutes from a drive-in, and you said, that's ridiculous, and you said, we got to go to the drive-in if I come up. And now you've lived to regret it because you have to go every year. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I love going. I don't go to the drive-in very much myself. I live in Whitby, and I'm about 40 minutes away from a drive-in, so it's not as often. But when I found out that he didn't go, because he's only 10 minutes away, too, it kind of shocked me, because if that was me, I think I'd be there every weekend, because first off, it's way cheaper than going to a movie theater nowadays. You pay $6 or $8 for 2 movies instead of $12 for 1 movie. So, it's been a tradition that we've gone to the drive-in, and I really enjoy it. I mean, who doesn't like watching a movie outside?
Well, I love that you like it, too. And I said to you, we actually went to the drive-in. Well, I don't know when they're going to air this, but the last time we went to the drive-in, I'll say, I said, what I love about this now is I don't know how long drive-ins will last. They might stick around, you never know. But I said that in your life, every time you go to a drive-in now, like when you get old and married with kids and you take them, you're going to think about me at least a little bit.
Always.
You're probably going to throw my ashes at the drive. That's a lovely thought. Putting pressure on this kid already, like... I'm not going anywhere, people.
No, for sure though. Definitely, I'm gonna always relate the drive-in to Uncle Donald and all the good times that we've had. Those have been our, I would say, deepest talks. Have been right at the drive-in.
We've had awesome, amazing talks on the phone as well, but there's something about the drive-in. I like, if anybody who ever goes to the drive-in with me, I like to go really early, and Jonathan found that out, and he wasn't sure why, since I was 10 minutes away. I think the first time you went, you're like, why don't we just go like 15 minutes before the movie's done? I said, no, you have to have the drive-in ambiance. You have to deal with that. And then I think you understood that not only you go to the snack bar, but there's something about sitting in the car, and you do get into these deep conversations. Maybe not when you have screaming kids in the back, but when you get like 2 guys sitting at the drive-in, you're going to talk, or, two women, or whatever. It's just a great place to talk. If the movie sucks, turn down the radio, you can continue talking. Or wait till, the intermission or something. But I like to watch the popcorn juggling. And
yeah, I like the old-fashioned commercials that they have, and they still play, which is amazing. Very, very cool.
Yeah, and then he'll ask me stuff like, how old is this? Or, I'll feel really old. Like, yeah, they were showing that when I was a little kid and stuff like that. But I'm really glad that you like the drive-in. I'm sorry we got so obsessed with the drive-in, but I love that you got me back there because, yeah, to be honest with you, sometimes it's just like, hey, Mike, you want to go to the drive-in? And Mike's, yeah, I don't know. And then by the time you talk yourself out of it. But I like that you were just like, no, we are going. Yeah, you've done that a lot of times with me. I'm still not jumping out of an airplane with you. He tried to talk me into that would be a good birthday gift to jump out the plane with him. And I told him no. It was hard for me to say no, but I don't know. I could change my mind. But, like, on the last visit, he just bought a new Jeep. Well, used Jeep, but it's beautiful. I've fallen in love with the vehicle. This has never happened before. I have a thing about Jeeps I've discovered. My friend has a Jeep that I used to love, and when he gave it away, I practically cried. I think he did too, but he didn't want his wife to know. But I won't say their names, Mike and Leslie. But he picked me up and he actually had the doors off the Jeep. And when I saw it, I said, we're going to the drive-in with no doors? But I didn't know you could detach. And you sent me a picture, and I'm like, wasn't there doors on this when I pictured this? I didn't know Jeeps come apart. I'm sorry for those people who thought I was automotively sound, but I'm not, so.
That was good. You had a good experience. I drove him around a little. If you've driven in a Jeep before with the doors off, it is extremely different. Especially for the driver. You got no side mirrors now, so you have to look around. And just seeing the ground more.
It was
when you're
weird. But I loved it. I really did. My favorite driving story with Jonathan, and we just talked about this, I told you before I ever drove with you that if I trust the person driving, I am fine. But if somebody shows me they can't drive, I'm a nervous wreck in a car. And then he drove, and he kept asking me, are you all right? Are you all right? Do you feel? Now, to get Jonathan's kind of wicked sense of humor, I don't know if he was asking to see if I was fine. I think he was a little disappointed that I was comfortable with his driving. Because he thought he'd try to do things, so I'd grab the
holy shit handle?
The holy shit handle, which you have told me about. And I literally think you were disappointed that you wanted me to be a little bit nervous, I think. Just for your own humor.
Kind of, but then I don't want you to not trust me driving. So it's, a bit of both in there, right?
Well, I have a lot of fun whatever we're doing and stuff like that. I don't know what to say next. Did you think we'd become as close as we did?
I don't think that anyone expected us to get as close as we did, to be honest. I didn't think we would. I thought it was just a nice gesture how you reached out to me to begin with, and it sort of just clicked. And, it was someone to talk to, someone that obviously cares about me. And I enjoy seeing those messages on Facebook with just a little hug or just a I love you on there. It's really nice to see that, when you're not with someone, you know that they're still caring for you. And there's just that relationship there. It's really great to see, and I just love coming up and visiting, and I'm glad that we actually decided to do this because it's like me visiting and the podcast.
Oh, I thought the podcast.
No, the podcast because I've never done this before, so it's a new experience for me, and I'm glad that I get to do this for the first time with you. So I'm happy about that, and.
Well, like you said, I do like to send you little notes and stuff, but you send them to me as well. Like I've gotten the emails where I just have a little, thinking of you or a smile and when I'm having a rough time, you call me and check to see how I'm doing, and that means a lot. And I know I've told you that, but I'm telling you now in public. So when I'm old and gray and don't remember anymore, you can listen to this podcast. And I will say it over and over again. And that's a big thing, because I know you get busy. And, I worried that when you got, you're not a kid anymore. I will probably always see you as a kid. But you're 20, which I can't even remember what I was like as 20. It's kind of a weird... You're kind of a weird man-child to me now. You're still that kid, but then I remember, but I always worry, obviously, when you get older, that I don't think we're going to lose this bond. I think it's worth fighting for, don't you?
Oh, I don't think we're going to lose it either. It's kind of, it's meant to happen, and I think it's going to happen until the day someone dies.
Let's not go there, guys. If you're a betting person, it's probably the old guy, okay? And this will just be a touching memoir to you, People get upset with me when I say they're going to cherish these when I'm dead. It's like, don't talk like that. I go, well, some people I know do not listen to this podcast, but will listen to them when I'm dead. And then they'll say, oh, I wish I asked him about that. I didn't know he was that kinky fuck. Or something. I'm glad you did this podcast with me. I just love chatting with you. And when I talk about you, I always just say, you're my nephew. You're my nephew. Every once in a while, it's like, oh, how are they related? And I'm like, well, he's sort of a nephew I adopted, I'm going to say. But I think that makes it even more special because we chose each other. It wasn't just it's there. Sometimes family takes each other for granted. I believe we worked for this relationship. So, And I know this embarrasses you when I say this, but I think we've figured out I'm never going to have kids. And I'll tell you, I don't know how you parents do it, because when he comes to visit, he's up for 1 day. You guys have him for the whole life. And then you get the empty bird nest when they leave, and you're like, oh, he's gone again. I'm sure your mom and dad are like that. I have you for, maybe a couple of days, and letting you go out that door is the hardest thing. I'm like, I'm glad I'm not a parent. I have to do this every, time, but I think, you're the closest I'll ever have to a son. And I'm not going to cry. I know you're thinking I'm going to tear up now, but I'm holding it together until after this. So it's never stopped me on this podcast before. But no, and I thank you for being that part of your life. Because I know you have a lot of people in your life. You have a ton of uncles. You have a great mom and dad. And the fact that you wanted one more and knew you got to work for it, that's awesome. So thank you. He's speechless, people. He doesn't know what to say. And I also like that we can talk about just about anything, even if it's embarrassing or ridiculous.
Everything's a little open with us.
Yes.
Whatever comes to mind is bam.
Yeah.
There's no holding back. There's no sugarcoating.
Sometimes we should hold back, but we don't. And then we just live to deal with it. It's like, okay, he's a little mixed up, crazy, but so am I, so that's probably why we get along and stuff like that. Well, we have a few more minutes. Is there anything else you want to talk about? What are your big plans for life? Putting you on your spot, I gotta be, as the older guy, what do you dream about? If I could make your dreams come true, what would you want in life?
Well,
you can dream big. We're not going to hold it against you if it doesn't happen.
Well, obviously, I went to school for 2 years for police foundations. So eventually, I would like to get into that career. I know it's going to take a while, but good things happen to patient people, I guess. So as long as whenever that happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I like living out in the country. I like all my toys, ATVs.
Please explain what that means. Like when my audience can be a little dark. Okay, when I say toys, they'll think a little action figures, but
no, my toys are ATVs. Boats, dirt bikes, snowmobiles, anything like that. We
have literally nothing in common. For those of you who figured that out by now, but
I love it. I love all of them. You know, they cost money. It sucks when they break. Mine's broken right now. I'm paying like $400 or $500 to fix it. It sucks, but you know, price comes with fun. So
fun comes with a price.
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
That's it. Price comes. Yeah, makes more sense.
I love when you have to talk like you're an adult now. It's like I like in the past you didn't have to. You take into that but now you're realizing, oh shit, it's expensive to be an adult now.
Oh, yeah. It's not like my dad's paying for it, so, I mean, I understand if I break it, and I have to deal with it myself, which is fine. But, you know, I also want to live out in the country. I don't want to be in the city, too many people. I want lots of land, have a family. That's basically it. I want to own a house by the time I'm 25. That's my new goal.
Oh, I didn't know about this. See, I learned something new about him. Every day.
Yeah, I told my dad actually last year or so. I said 25, I want to have my own house, and if I don't, I'm going to be disappointed. But what can you do? So it doesn't matter.
So you're not being hard on yourself.
Exactly.
You know, I notice a lot of you young people. I don't like to group you all together, but you got all these really big goals. I know houses. I got to be married by 30 and stuff. When I was your age, I think I wanted like a Slurpee machine in my house or something. I still don't have big dreams.
But I know a lot of people that
have
these dreams and they don't achieve it till they're older, but I'm only 20 years old and I bought a 2011 Jeep and I financed it all by myself. Everything is by myself. So I think, you know, if I could do it by myself now, maybe when I get that little bit older, it'll be no problem, right?
Well, I'll support you anyway, not pay for it. But, you know, if it happens, it happens. But the good thing about that, no matter what happens, if you fail or not, I will still be there for you. I will love you no matter what.
And I know you will.
If you have your own home at 25, or if you're living in a box, I'll take you in when it rains. So anyhow, we've come to the end. Thank you for joining me. It's kind of weird interviewing you, but it was nice. I think he does care for me. Anyhow, thank you, Jonathan. Would you like to say a final goodbye?
Well, I just want to thank you for having me on here. It's actually a good honor, I guess, for you wanting me to put onto your podcast that you started to do. So, thank you. I appreciate it.
And we will be back. All right, we're back. Turkey's out of the oven. And Mike's carving it right now as we speak, and we're going to be eating dinner, and this is our virtual reality dinner. It's not virtual reality on the radio, is it?
No, I don't think so.
No, what is it? Audio.
Audio reality?
Anyhow, we're going to simulate, not stimulate. Well, we hope we stimulate you as well. Simulate us eating dinner and having a regular conversation that we might have on a holiday for you people who might be a little, you're by yourself or you just want to see a bunch of people who are going to pretend they're going to be eating for the radio. So as Mike puts things on our plate, we will just be talking about holidays and some of our favorite times of the year. Hopefully Thanksgiving is one of them.
Nope, not at all.
So, let's start. What's your thoughts on Thanksgiving? Like, are you a big fan of it, or?
Sure.
Yeah, I like Thanksgiving.
Is it one of your favorites? Like, would you say it's your favorite?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
No? Just...
No. It depends what you actually do for Thanksgiving, and like if you have a meal with someone or if you go away for the weekend.
Now, earlier in the show, I mentioned that you and I don't necessarily have turkey. We sometimes will have like tacos or quarter chicken or whatever. But I think Thanksgiving just isn't about the food. I think it's also about, being with people you care about.
I think a lot of times it is just about the food for some people.
I think it is. I think it is. And
the people that call it Happy Turkey Day instead of Thanksgiving.
Yeah. How's the cranberries?
Mm.
So now you know it's fake because I never have cranberries.
No.
It's just setting the mood again. So, what's your favorite food at Thanksgiving? Heather, you can go first. If you can't tell their voices apart.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes. That's your
like
answer.
mashed potatoes. Yeah.
Is it made in a special way? Or?
Cheesy mashed potatoes
Well, I
that
think
your
like the ones
family?
that my mom
Yes.
makes, yes.
Yes.
But even just regular mashed potatoes are fine.
I like your cheesy mashed potatoes that your family makes, but my God, talk about gaining weight.
I think it's just actually cheese. I'm not sure she puts potatoes in it.
I'm great at eating just cheese.
With each year, the ratio of cheese just got more and more,
That's
and the
right.
potatoes got
There's no
smaller.
point, you know.
And Mike, what would you say your favorite is? It? What is it?
I kind of like the whole combination. I like the turkey, and I like roast potatoes over mashed potatoes.
Sacrilege!
And I like stuffing is an essential. I enjoy stuffing, but it doesn't make or break the meal. I
like a good stuffing.
I like squash. I'm
Really?
probably the only one here that does like squash.
No, I had, did I not have butternut squash soup at a wedding once?
Yeah, but that's not squash.
No, but I enjoyed it.
Well, that counts.
I like turkey. I think turkey's good. I like that weird feeling that you get after where you have to sleep. Where all of a sudden you just get that, put me in front of the thing and put the, what's this movie we watched at the Thanksgiving? Is there a Thanksgiving movie?
Charlie Brown. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
We should be having toasted popcorn.
That would be a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Yes, well you can watch any. I need to wash this great food down.
And the gravy's good too. It's always good to have some nice gravy on your turkey and potatoes.
We made this old style. We injected butter into it every 5 minutes in the oven. It takes 3 days to cook because you're opening the oven all the time. But who doesn't like butter succulent?
Butter succulent?
Yes.
Well, what about pumpkin pie? Who's a pumpkin pie fan?
No.
No?
No.
I knew that was going to happen.
How about you?
I've talked about it already.
Oh, well.
I said I like it at the beginning, and then by the end of October, I'm just like, don't ever show me a fucking pumpkin again until September, and then I'm like ready for it again.
Do you like white meat or dark meat?
That's a personal. Oh, for Thanksgiving, I like white. I don't mind dark. Dark's not bad. I drive my family crazy because when they go out and make the turkey, and then I just get 2 pieces of rye bread, some Maggie, and I just slap it and make a sandwich. It's like you're supposed to do that with the leftover. I don't do it anyhow. So. But I like either, but I like white more.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think I'm racist. I do enjoy dark meat as well.
I like dark meat.
Yeah, I do.
I like white meat too, as long as, they haven't cooked the hell out of the turkey and it's all dried out.
Oh, that reminds me of a story. It might be more of a Christmas story, but it'll work with this. We will hide the identities of the people too, so they don't hide in shame if they're listening to this. But we actually, that scene in Christmas Vacation where they try to cut the turkey and it's so dry and it just goes. We're not saying it was that bad, but we had a turkey that was so dry that I don't think the gravy made it around one time. Because everybody was like, "Oh, this is delicious," and then just drowning the. And it's like, "Oh, we should have made more gravy," and we're like, "Yeah," as we're pouring our water on it. It was dry. It was dry. It was like eating a corpse. Not that I would know what that's like. See? Wouldn't you want to have us over for dinner?
Oh, yeah.
We only eat occasionally.
Pass the gherkins, please.
Pickles. I like when they put out little pickles or onions. I don't like the onions, but I look at them.
Decorative, though.
I
I'm not
know.
sure you're supposed to eat them. They're just decoration.
Not the pickles, the onions.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to eat the damn pickles.
How about cranberry? Anybody like cranberry?
Yeah.
No.
Makes my lips all red.
I like it with white meat. That's about it.
That's awfully particular of you.
Well, that's what you do with it. You eat it with your turkey.
Now, do your families have any weird traditions?
I don't think so. I honestly don't remember Thanksgiving when I was a kid at all.
No?
We always had huge family dinners on every Sunday anyways. So, where everyone would get together for Sunday dinner.
Well, I know your family, every once in a while, they'll just say, we have a turkey in the fridge.
Yeah.
We should just cook it up.
So I assume we did that for Thanksgiving too, but I don't remember it being a big deal at all. It was just,
It's odd that they'd always have random turkeys just laying
you
around
really
the house.
do, yes.
Does your family do any special traditions? Like,
The only thing I remember them doing sometimes, which is a little different, is because my sister's birthday would either fall either on or really close to Thanksgiving. Sometimes it would be combined with the dinner.
oh, so they
So
have
there'd be
cake.
birthday cake afterwards and gifts and all
Oh.
that.
Well,
Since everyone was together anyways. But, we weren't like, going out in the woods and jumping the leaves or anything like that.
No, I always see those specials where the whole family gets out and plays football and
Yeah.
stuff, and I kind of, as much as I don't really enjoy playing football, I kind of would like to. Actually, we did have that happen.
Did
Yeah, when we were at my brother Chris and Ernie's, we all went out and played baseball.
Oh, in the driveway?
No, we went to that park across the street where they used to live.
Oh, I remember watching people play baseball.
No.
I don't remember going out on that field at any point.
We were hitting balls and we were catching them, and I felt like, wow, look at me doing exercise.
Maybe I wasn't there.
Was it
Quite
before
certainly.
or after dinner?
No, this was just a couple of years ago.
Oh.
It was wonderful. It was our only real, parenthood kind of moment where we were all doing stuff. We should do, I like when the family gets together and they play a game or a board game or something. Ping pong's a little weird. And stuff. But your family plays ping pong. They used
They
to.
used to, yeah. Now they're into darts.
Are they back in
Yeah.
the day?
Oh, yeah, we've got a dartboard downstairs.
They could probably fit a ping pong table.
So they probably could.
And they have it set
give
up
my
like
dad
they had a
any
bar.
ideas.
They have a bar. I
Oh,
would
yeah.
totally like to make an underground bar in their basement. They go to bed early and then like boom, 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 boom.
I think they know.
All the gay men coming in, hello. Hey, Mary. So, do you have any weird things? Well, you don't remember Thanksgiving.
No, I don't.
Convenient.
How about you? You didn't say with your family.
Oh, eat. It was pretty much, I don't even think my family was thankful for anything. I'm going back now. I'm not talking my current family. I gave them up.
Back when
No.
you were a kid. Yeah.
No, I don't recall us doing anything special. I remember one time I think we had relatives coming over. My mother tried to impress everybody because I remember a time, I don't know if it was even Thanksgiving, but I remember she bought like all this fancy food, like snack meat, like what's that, pate, and
Oh.
I remember she even bought caviar. Like, who are we, the Kennedys? Like, did they think we actually sit there and eat caviar? Because that was the first time I saw caviar, and I'm like, what? Who are we trying to impress? We're like the black sheep of the family, but I remember my mother buying like fancy pates or stuff like that.
Were they impressed?
I don't even remember what the hell it was. I wasn't. I was just like, why are we having like this black caviar stuff? I didn't try it. I kind of wish I did now, because I'm more daring at trying stuff, but as a kid, I hate it. Now, I think Mike was, were you a fussy eater? Because I know Heather was.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
I was.
I still am.
But you try stuff now.
You like-
Not
Not
really.
really, but
No, but I pretend.
you do. You spit it out and say, no, I don't like that.
Not really, because there's a lot of stuff that I remember I would put on my plate logical what I mean. If there's like sliced tomatoes and like onions and the little onions, all that, and olives, I'd always go for that stuff. I wasn't too fussy about it.
I was really fussy. I didn't. When I got older, I started trying things. I'm very happy I did, because it would have been nice to know I liked this stuff, but I was such an idiot. But you ate hot dogs for pretty much 8 years
Yeah.
in a row, right?
Yeah.
Not trying to push that on you or anything.
No,
Well,
you're right.
You met my family, they were like, not eat your grandmother's cooking, that's an insult.
Well, your grandmother always had nice Thanksgivings.
Yeah.
Like, we'd go over there and... Oh, there's some stories I'd love to tell. Remember when your aunt fell back on the thing?
In her chair, yeah.
Yeah, it was really surreal. She was just talking and leaning back, and then suddenly all I see is her legs. Yeah, and it was weird because we were concerned about her, but you couldn't help giggling at the same time, which is horrible of me in that. But, yeah, family members all make it. I remember a certain family member who was very offended about putting Cool Whip on pie. And, yeah.
What kind of pie was it? Pies are
it
made
was,
for cool.
I can't remember. She always made different, like, key lime she's made. And,
She used to make those Jello fruit pies.
yeah. It might have been even a chocolate
I just better
But Mike
put
wanted
in
some Cool Whip on it.
or Dream It for some people.
Yeah. And then, it was like, that's offensive. We'll keep people nameless.
Yes.
It was just a nice man.
It was like, Cool Whip on your grandmother's pie, that's blasphemy.
She was okay with it. But we'd always think she'd make wonderful stuff, and then you'd compliment her, and he goes, "Oh, the gravy was..." Not trying to do your grandmother's voice. "Oh, the gravy was too salty," or something. This was wonderful.
That turkey should have came out 10 seconds sooner.
Yeah, I know. She knows it right to a thing. If only I didn't have to run for those... whatever those things are that you take the turkey out with.
Who was it that cooked the turkey with the plastic bag still in it? Was that someone in your family?
In it?
You know, you buy the turkey and you got the plastic bag inside of it with all the gizzards and stuff for the gravy and the stuffing. And
That was not.
supposed to take that out before you cut the turkey.
Sitcom you watched or
Okay.
something.
I just heard someone telling me a story about, boy, did it smell horrible. And they pulled it out as like the plastic bag was still inside of the turkey when they're cooking it.
No, I don't remember that one in my house. But that's great to take things from sitcoms and stuff. And remember that time I was looking for my watch and my head got stuck in the oh, that was Mr. Bean. No, but I think it's great. It's amazing that we really made no eating noises. We're just
we really
playing with our utensils. Stop playing with your food. I used to hate that. My family was known also for, we get really dirty. Like, we start mentioning really disturbing things.
Okay.
And then my niece Nicole eventually spits out, juice or
Sneeze
whatever
the pop
out of her nose because we made her laugh so hard. And she's pretty much offended but laughing at the same time. So really, you can't be offended while you're laughing. But we talk about everything from fart humor or, getting the shits or, getting nipple rings and
So they
stuff.
just want the leftovers? They don't want anyone eating?
No, it's almost a tradition.
No.
That's just the way we are. It starts off like we have a nice, Norman Rockwell Thanksgiving with the thing, and then it winds up turning into some old raunchy, Carry On movie. What's your favorite holiday of all of them? Yeah, I like Christmas too.
I say Christmas.
Oh, damn, are we boring people?
Yeah. What's your least favorite? You said...
New Year's Eve! Everybody knows New Year's Eve is not my favorite, although the last couple have been nice.
Yeah.
We've just done our own thing here, and those have been nice. So, it might slowly push Groundhog Day further down the ranks.
Poor ground.
And what's your least favorite holiday?
Probably St. Patrick's. Because it's just kind of like, whatever.
But you're not Irish.
People are working like, you're going to wear green? It's like, I don't know.
It's more than that. If you're Irish...
I know there's more to it, but I'm just saying that, when all the holidays, it's like...
If you were Mike O'Cuthbertson,
Really,
you'd certainly be more enjoying of it. Okay,
I
that's
really
good.
don't do anything for it, so I really don't care.
Well, wear
The other
green.
for it.
Wear green and see if it changes your aspect of it. And what's your least favorite?
I've never
Say
thought about it, but those are
Thanksgiving.
both good answers. So, yeah.
It would be ironic if you said Thanksgiving, because I have turkey
I
every
like
week, because I have me.
I like
Because your parents just buy 8 turkeys and then lose
Pretty
them.
much.
Well, is it, would Remembrance Day be considered a holiday?
You're not going to say you don't like...
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh, I hated it as a child, but I like it now.
Why,
like
why
what
do
it-
you hate Remembrance
No, I
Day?
didn't say that.
No.
I just saying.
No, she's just saying
I
I hated it when I was
I
a
like
child.
what Remembrance Day stands for. I think it's important. I don't think I can say that's one of my favorite holidays just
Well,
because of what it's
yeah.
about.
Well, it's not really a holiday. It's like voting or something. Yeah, you used to you didn't like it when you were a
Well,
child.
because Remembrance Day, all we did was we sat in the auditorium and just listened, and it felt like you were there for the entire day.
But it said you should have paid attention. It
I
was
know I
always
should
about
have.
war.
I was an idiot. I didn't.
Everybody enjoyed the Remembrance Assembly because they let you off afterwards.
No, it was long and tedious. Maybe
feel-
you had better ones.
Similar about New Year's as well. All this stuff with Christmas, and a week later, one more party to end it all up.
It really was, and we already did that. It's called Boxing Day. When we went and shopped. Well, maybe we should put New Year's at a different time.
Halloween would be my second.
Oh, yeah, Halloween is great. Halloween's changed so much, though, when we were kids. Well, we're finishing up here. As you can see, we're getting that turkey tiredness. So we'll have to put on, what gay people always put on at Thanksgiving, like Sound of Music or Mommy Dearest. Because it's not right to show Mother's Day. But, any closing statements about Thanksgiving?
Well,
Happy Thanksgiving?
I have a quick question I could throw out there.
Oh, great.
Does anybody know why we celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada?
The Pilgrims came to Plymouth Rock. Oh, sorry. My Americanism. No, why is it?
I've heard there's a ton of reasons, but I've pretty much been told basically it's just a celebration of purpose.
Well, that's nice. It's just pilgrims coming, killing people, and taking over the land.
Well, I talked to a guy from the U.S. saying, what's this deal with the Canadians taking our holiday? I mean, what's that about?
Well, we didn't
Ours
take...
is in October. It's totally different.
we didn't take President's Day or anything like that, or Martin Luther King Day or something like that. So, Well, Mike, that's a good thing to leave it on, because now we know it's the harvest, and we're going to go and eat it all in one weekend. Anyhow, thank my guests here, Corda and Mike, and that's the end of our Thanksgiving craziness. We hope you had a good time. Hopefully you could hear us over our eating, because we apparently had sporadic eating throughout. Anyhow, I will see you soon, and we will talk very soon.